What's up YouTube, Infected Xenon here, coming at you guys with my top 48 Constellar deck profile and regional report. Now, this is going to be a long video, so bear in mind, if you guys are only interested in the deck profile, just in the description I'll have the time for when the deck profile begins. But for now, I'll talk to you guys about my experience, what happened, and whatever. So I ended up placing 44th out of a 450 Kissimmee, Florida regional. This is not bragging rights, it is my first considered top at an event. I started off the event 6-0 with Constellars, and then I lost two games in a row, and then I left after round 8, losing round 9, as no show, and I still ended up placing 44th. It kind of sucks because if I did play out round 9 and I did happen to win, I could have gotten anywhere between 20, 30, maybe even the top, teens or whatever. Maybe not, I don't really know. It's almost impossible to know, but whatever. I'm satisfied with how the deck performed. I really barely play tested Constellars. Basically, I only tested like 3 or 4 hours on the end the day before. And I came up with this build. I bought a lot of cards, so you're going to see like a lot of proxies. But overall, it was great. Round 1, I went versus Dark World. He won the die roll, and I ended up 2-0ing him. Round 2, I played against Bujins. I won the die roll, and I ended up winning in 3 games. Round 3, I played against Inzectors, and I ended up 2-0ing him. Round 4, I played against +1 Firefist, and I ended up 2-1ing him. Round 5, I played against Bujins, and I 2-0'd him. Round 6, I played against Mermos, and I 2-0'd him. Then round 7, I played against Gear Karakuri, lost to him. He was a great player and all, but he did open up a Gear armor, Gear every game, and he, blind MSC'd my only traps. But, it's happened, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Basically, you're meant to win games like that. And I'm not salty about it, to be completely honest. I mean, I sacked a lot of people, too. It's just how Yu-Gi-Oh! Is nowadays. Going first is really OP in that game, because he won the die roll. Round 7, I played against Black Wings. I won the die roll, but he ended up taking it in 3 games. And then I again lost, and then I ended up placing 44th. I do have one complaint about my deck, and it's with this man right here. I only drew 3 Sombres the entire tournament. 3 fucking Sombres. 8 rounds of Swiss. Only drew him 3 times. I only resolved his effect 1 time, which is round 6 against Mermill. You know what that is? That's just like saddening. I only drew 3 Sombres all event, and I still did as well as I did. It was kind of weird. Honestly, if I resolved Sombre against the Black player, I could have won that game. Against the Geary Karakuri player, there was really nothing I could do. Unless I had Exiton, which I don't have. But yeah, basically, Exiton could have won me the game, but whatever. I don't have it. So here's the deck profile. I don't know. I don't know how much more to explain my time. So 3 costs. He's your level modification. He makes your plays. Twice per turn you can increase or decrease the level of one face of Constellar. So you can make rank 3s, rank 5s, or just rank 4 plays with him. Then 3 Pollux. He's your caster of the deck. He allows an additional normal summon. Basically, your most standard play of the deck is going Pollux into costs, bumping them to 5 and making Pleiades, which I did not make as much as I would like to. 3 Algady. He's a special summoner. He got Vader like 2 or 3 times and finished a couple times as well, which was great because he went through Backle for me, and then next turn I would summon and go Omega and just beat down from there. Baiting Backle with Algady was like the best thing. I would not drop him to 2 like some people are doing. It's great. 3 Sombre. I might as well have not played any Sombre at all, to be completely honest. As many times as I resolved this card, which was never. It did come in handy, obviously, when I resolved him. But when I didn't resolve him, like always, yeah. So I only resolved this card once, which was ridiculous. I really wish I could have resolved him more than once, but I didn't. So whatever. You cry about it at night. One Sheridan. I cited this out every game too. And I don't think I ever cited him game 3, to be honest. He was there for the game 1. I only drew Sheridan once the entire event as well. But I ended up winning because I went Sheridan, search cost, set back row. I think it was against the Firefist player, and then he go summon something, I warninged it. Then I go cost, make Omega, beat down for game. So Sheridan did that. Thunder King Ryo, because going Thunder King and sitting on back row all day was a thing. Thunder King against Bujins is too real, like honestly. This is honest. I don't even have an honest, apparently. So, yeah, it was honest. Honestly, not much I could say about this. I think I may have dropped honest once or twice. But the one time, if I dropped it, I think I may have dropped it just once. And because the second time I got Divine Wrath. 2 Effect Veilers. Best decision of my life to main deck these. I did draw these Veilers very often, which was great. And I played it because my worst matchup is Fire Fist, and I want to stop their effects. It put in work against, it put in work somewhat against Mermail, Valoring the TS. It put work against Insectors. It was really good. And then, of course, against Bujins didn't do anything. Against Geargias, it Valored something, but he still decayed me regardless. But yeah, Vader was great. 3 MSTs. Hey, back row, you want to make your pushes. Only 2 tanky. A lot of people told me to play 3. I would not have played 3. 2 was a perfect number. Yeah, I only played 3 costs. If I played Bear, I would bump it up to 3, but I didn't play Bear, so I only played 2. And it was great, because it just clogs back row, because I have no way of removing the tanky. 2 Forbidden Lance. Forbidden Lance, protects your plays, so when you XYZ and they do something, you can Lance and makes them waste one of their back row. Lance was pretty good the whole day as a damage set modifier as well, so I would not have dropped Lance at all. 1 book, of course it's Book of Moon. It's a trap card basically. Reinforcement of the Army to grab Pollux. Dark Hole was phenomenal, clearing boards and then pushing. These are 2 mistake. Honestly, this card was crap. I only resolved its effect off once, but when I did, it was amazing. He has like 3 cards in hand. He ditches Lind and Dragoons to special Megalo. I chain Mistake. He goes minus hard. He has a 24 beater on board, and then I chain my bottom list as well. So I bottom list his thing, and he doesn't get the search, which was great. Then for my other 2 ups, 2 Fiendish. I bounces back with Pleiades a lot, so 2 was just a great number. I wouldn't want to have ran 3. 2 Deep Prisons, put in work against Mermails. That's why I played this at 2. I was fearing the Mermail matchup a lot more than I should have. Excuse me. But Deep Prison was good. I liked it. It's funny because I wasn't a fan of this card. Excuse me again. For the longest time. But it put in so much work at the regional. I'm in love with Deep Prison again. So then for my 1-ups, I played 1 Dust Tornado, put in a lot of work. Mirror Force. I don't remember doing too much, but it was still there. Bottomless was a great card. Call was a beautiful card. Calling Thunder King, calling well, not calling Sombre because again I never do it. That's what it's meant to be for. It's to call Sombre and use its effect. But this would get MST, this would get whatever. But a lot of times I would just win by going. One game I had M7 and Omega on board. I attack with M7. I attack with Omega. He has no responses to that. So then I go at Omega's effect, attach Algady, call back the Algady, and attack for game. It was pretty cool. 1 warning, put in a lot of work. Every time I resolved this, I ended up winning the game. 7 tools was great. I wish I could have bumped this up to 2, but all I would have changed was Dust Tornado maybe to 1. I would have cut Dust Tornado and put 7 tools to 2, because 7 tools was great. They would warning. I'm like, lol, 7 tools. And then my last card was Torrential, which was really great with Omega. Honestly, Torrential. I think Torrential resolved the most out of any of my traps. Then probably Warning was next. But yeah, Dust Tornado put in work though. I wouldn't take it out. I like this 1-ofs lineup. It's what, 7 1-ofs? And that's it for my main deck. I had no problem with my main deck except not drawing Sombre. But that's Yu-Gi-Oh! You don't draw what you need, apparently, or ever. The 1-of Zen main to my extra deck was a waste of space. I should have just cut this in general. You could make this with Sheridan and then just going cost decreasing levels, but I never had to go into it, so why would I? 2 Omegas, MVP of my extra deck. I went into this every single round, like for sure. I went into this every single round, once or twice at least, and they're putting a lot of work. It's definitely the MVP of my extra deck, no questions asked. 1 Starliege, I never went into this. This is a number 101 I borrowed, and I never went into it. Mage Stroke, I went into this once against Fire Fists and once against Bujin. So I went into this twice. Dweller, never even made it. I Cowboyed for game once. Never Volcud. Tiras, I went into it once against the Geary card Curry player when he set armor, set 5, and he had the warning, which was great. Shark Fortress, I used the OTK twice, and if you don't know what the what OTK is, I'll tell you in a second. So I'm just going to put that there. 2 Pleiades. I was borrowing one. I don't even have one of my own, which is funny. And I need one of these. M7 was great. Going Omega 2 materials and just stacking M7 on top of it is phenomenal. I wouldn't change it, honestly. It was cool. It was great. 27 beater, just in that. I only resolved his effect once, though, because obviously they went really hard on trying to take this out of the game. Like, they went really hard to remove this during the turn, because you can't use its effect the turn you stack it, so they went really hard taking this out. They would Dark Hole it, they would do lots of things to it, because obviously, just on top, besides its effect being phenomenal, he's a 27 beater. and then Gaia Charger, essential to the OTK. Yeah, so I'll explain to you what the OTK is. So it revolves around having Pleiades out. So we're gonna say we went Algady Koss into it, and let's say they set 2 back row. On their end phase, you bounce one of their back row back to their hand. On your phase, you bounce your other back row back to their hand. So now you just have a Pleiades. Now you're supposed to do this with Sombre, but again, I never drew Sombre the whole event, so I would always have like another Pollux and like Tenki to search Koss, or I would have Koss and Rhoda to search Pollux, or whatever. So then I would go Pollux, you go Pollux, Koss, make them both 5s, overlay for Shark Fortress, and then you stack M7 on top of the Pleiades. You go Shark Fortress effect to make him attack twice, and then you stack Gaia Dragon on top of Shark Fortress. Now he attacks, that's 27, he attacks again, that's 5400, he attacks, that's exactly 8000. So that OTK, I did it twice back to back. I did it like at the end of round 4 against Fire Fist, and then at the end of round 5, and in the first game of round 5. So literally back to back games, I OTK'd, and then I never OTK'd again. My side deck was 2 Maxis. I wanted a Maxi just as a draw card, because since I didn't play Upstart, because I tested Upstart, but I really didn't like it as much. Well, it's not that I didn't like it. I felt like Mistake would have been a great meta call, and it was pretty bad. And whatever. But Maxi, just a draw card against like Mermills or OTK decks. But whatever. I only sided this once against the Mermill player. And against Giga Karakuri. So I sided it twice actually. D-Fissure sided this a lot against Bujins, Dark Worlds, Mermill. It was in there. 2 Twisters. Sided this a lot because of the side deck hate. So I just sided this in a lot game 2s against Fire Fist and stuff like that. Macro sided this in a lot of times as well. Soul Drain, same times as the rest. Wabaku, I sided this in with Maxi. It was a great call by one of my friends to run it. Basically, because you want to Maxi into something, you don't want to just Maxi and not draw into any defensive things, because they can still OTK you. And, you know, Wabaku's great. I drew into this once and I resolved it, so it was good. It was cool. They MST'd it, I chained it. 1 Mind Crush. I wish I made 2 Mind Crush instead of the mistakes, to be honest. But whatever. It's a $1 card. It does what Mistake does, except you can hit the cards out of their hand completely, and you get to read their hand, so it's beautiful. Blackhorn, I sided this in against Giga Karakuri, and I never resolved it, but whatever. 2 Shadow Mirrors, I sided this in expecting Rogue at Regional, like there always is, and I sided this in against Insectors only, and yeah, that's it. And my final card is the Dust Tornado for more back row hate, because I had nothing else to side. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck profile and regional recap. If you did, please leave a like rating, because, yeah, I did pretty good. Again, I went undefeated for the most part, and then ended up scrubbing out the final 2 rounds. But whatever, that's Yu-Gi-Oh! For you. Yeah, not much else to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. In fact, this in and out. Have a good one, guys. Peace.